Good afternoon. Okay, let's do a full face Demi tutorial. I'm fixing to head out to do a couple of color matches and need to get ready. So if you're new here, my name is Althea Gobble. I'm an independent Saint Beauty artist. If you have any questions about any of the products I use, just drop a comment. I'll be glad to answer. If I miss your comment, I'll come back and answer it later. If you have any questions about hosting a party so you can get some of the free products, or if you have any questions about the artisan program, about what I do, I'll be glad to share the information with you. So just let me know. All right, Demi Colour is these cute little tins. Look at them. Cute little tins of color, and it's revolutionary. You cannot compare it to anything else out there because there's nothing like it. It's a whole new approach. It's a whole different way of thinking. It is not more complicated. It's just different. It's a different way of thinking. So don't think it's more complex. Don't think there's more steps. There's not any more steps. It's just think differently. That's it. So I'm hoping I can simplify this process the more tutorials I do, so you feel at ease to be willing to try something new. This is the great time to do it because I'm going to be using the colors in the Angel Edit 2, and I've added 2 other colors in the palette that I'd like to use. And you can do the same thing, but there's a discount code that's active till the end of May, and it's significantly discounted. So if you've been interested in trying Demi, and I've had a lot of ladies to do this is the time, because you get a significant discount on the filter edits and you get a discount on the Angel edits, and it's quite a bit of a chunk taken off the money. It's like $150 off the Angel edit, which is a great deal. All right, you can share this video. I truly appreciate it. So just let me know. I don't see. Okay, I moved the comments away. Thank you. All right, now I want to just say hello when you jump on. I'm going to go ahead and start with my brows first. I always like to start with my brows. Okay, so I'm going to use the line brush. Hey, Kathy. And I'm going to use Indigo Contour for my brows. I love using the Indigo Contour from the 3D. You can use an eyeshadow, or you may have your favorite pencil. But the Demi colors really and truly do not work on brows because it is a sheer, it is not opaque. Okay, so it's not going to provide any kind of depth and dimension that you need for brows. Hey, Debbie. All right, so be sure to ask any questions once you jump on. If you have any, say hello. You can share this live as well. I like to fade it out in the front a little bit. I didn't turn off the scanner, sorry. I forgot about it. We're still in a studio apartment right now while we are building, because we sold our house. So I'm trying to get kind of used to different little setups. So I'm trying to find the best place, the time of the day for lives and video. So you see, I'm just quickly, I love using the contour for brows, and any of the ladies I color match, I love doing that as well. Just a little bald spot right there. Okay, now I'm going to start with my Demi. All right, with Demi, it's in basic 4 steps. Tone, sculpt, cheek, filter. That's it. 4 basic steps. First, I'm going to like to tone. Tone is your very first thing you need to do. Toning just balances color. So you just kind of look at your face and you just kind of, maybe I wouldn't want to say it's bronzer, but it's helping balance out color. If you're very red here, you want to tone that down. If you're lacking color here, if you have hyperpigmentation here or acne scars, you want to tone that down. So you just kind of give an overall, our face is full of colors. Demi Colour is about balancing that color. It's undetectable on the skin. You cannot see it on the skin. It's crazy. Is that magic? So I'm going to tone with some orange. Why? With this Angel Edit 2 that I'm using, the 07 is a great color to tone with because I'm kind of fair and I'm older. So I would get a lot of ashy blue shadows and a loss of color. Fair skin typically has a lot of blue in it. Blue and orange cancel each other. So just remember that. I'm going to use this shape brush, and you could see these color tints would last you 12 months at least. So I'm just going to, where I'm kind of hollow and bluish, just kind of watch how it happens, and I'm just giving some warmth and toning and balancing out color where I'm kind of needing color. The older we get, the more color we might need because we lose color. I shared a picture of Martha, a friend of mine, and we did Demi on her, and this was the very first thing we did with her, is because we needed some added warmth and very fair, plus any hyperpigmentation. This just helps balance that. Do you see? It doesn't, you can't see anything on this brush. I mean, look. And it doesn't look like you're putting anything on the skin until you've actually applied it, and you just kind of see it happening. It's like a painting. You don't see it happening till the end. So you see I'm just balancing out color on the side of my face, giving a little bit extra warmth. I like to take a little bit of the red 7. This is one I added in because I have a lot of age spots, sunspots, and freckles that are on my forehead. And most of our freckling and age spots and hyperpigmentation is going to be green. So the orange will help with any of the blue-green ones, but this red is helping balance out some of the hyperpigmentation that I have. So red and green cancel out each other. So I'm just kind of, where I have a lot of pigmentation, side of my face, and definitely my forehead, I put on a little bit of the red 7. And this is all toning, simple, easy, and quick. See, it just helps balance out the color, gives me a little added color where I had lost some. Be sure to ask any questions when you jump on if you have any. Now I like to tone here. I have large pores here. Large pores are typically they show a shadow, so they're blue, and I have hyperpigmentation here. So I'm going to tone here. See, it's kind of blue, kind of shadowy, right in here. I'm just going to tone in the center of my face with another orange color. And you can't go wrong with orange. And I'm going to use the 03. And you don't have to worry about, okay, which colors do I need? If you get the bundles, they're already there for you. So you don't have to sit and thinking, okay, I need this color, because it's all right there. So you're not going to miss it because you only have a few to choose from. Do you see what happened there? I am just very lightly giving a slight wash in these areas where I'm kind of shadowy, what we would call maybe a little bit of red. Hey, Joni. And then right in here, I've got a green because of veins, so I'm just going to use a red. So red and green cancel each other, blue and orange cancel each other. Since I have a lot of shadowing there, large pores there, I use the orange to cancel the blue. But this is all in one kit, so I don't have to go and guess this color, this color, this color. You can't go wrong with it just going to the orange. So there, I've just balanced out, and can't see anything on the skin. All right, now I have toned. Now I'm going to sculpt. Sculpt is basically like contour. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dimension, and I'm going to use the NO that comes in the Angel Edit 2, and I'm just going to, where I have shadow in my cheeks, I'm going to use just a touch of orange because shadows are blue, and I'm using the sculpt, and this sculpt comes with it. So you don't have to figure out what kind of sculpt do I need to use. You just know I use this one like I would contour. So there is no guessing there, but really it's just anywhere you have excess shadow, you're just balancing out that shadow with an opposite color. Shadow's always kind of blue, so we're using an orange. So basically wherever, you can use this on your neck. Guys, you can use this anywhere, like down on your neck. Typically it's hard like on your chest and things like that. If you have some hyperpigmentation, you have a scar, or whatever, it's hard to get opaque makeup not to be noticeable. With Demi, anything like that that you would like to disguise, Demi is perfect for that. Love it. All right, nose is always kind of shadowed blue on me. So I'm just, lightly using the small end of this brush, kind of softening the shadows, which warms it up, which at the same time then ends up giving me some structure as well. All right, this is one more color that I've added in that's not in mine. I added two, and this is the NR, the red sculpt. And the reason why I like the red sculpt is because I have some green veins on the sides here that show through quite a bit. And so that means a little more green needs a little more red. The orange gets the blue part of it, but I need some red where I have some of these veins that are pretty dominant. See that one right there? The orange took care of the blue, but I got a little bit of the green. Just so if you have veins, typically they're blue-green. So you need an orange and you need a red. Now my cheek color probably take care of that too. Okay, so now I'm done with that. I'm gonna sculpt my eyes. Oops, dropped my brush, hang on. Oh, well, glitter. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to sculpt with my eyes as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Eyes, definitely I have a shadow there. Shadows are blue, so I'm gonna use the NO to soften that shadow, and then what happens, it ends up giving me a nice, pretty contour on my eyes. Now, the Angel Edit, I'm telling you guys, is the way to go if you are been watching Demi and been very interested. This is the way to go because you only have like 12 colors to play with. So you're not going to have to be confused of what colors you need because it's already there for you due to your skin tone. So if you need help with that, I can help you. Now I'm taking a little bit of my red sculpt. Why did I want to use the red? Because I have freckles and hyperpigmentation on the outer part of my eyelid. So this helps balance that. Red and green, hyperpigmentations, muddy freckles, age spots are green. So here I'm just using a red. Red and green cancel each other, blue and orange. And you're going to be shocked how much blue you actually have in your skin that takes away from your skin tone. That's typically where we have excess color. It's going to have more blue in it. So adding a little orange helps. I definitely have hyperpigmentation down underneath my eyes. And so I'm just taking a little bit of this red sculpt right down in here. If you want to share this video, you can. Share the live. I would appreciate it. Okay, so now there's my eyes. I have sculpted my eyes. I've sculpted out the face. So tone, sculpt, next is cheek. So I'm going to go back to my shape brush, the fluffy brush, and I want to add some cheek. Now, with the Angel Edits, they have some options, okay, for cheek, and it's according to what you're looking for, what you're wanting. And so Here is this, I think this is the red 3. This is the, I can't remember, red violet, meaning it has red and purple in it, or more red than blue, so it makes a red violet. And this is an orange 7. Now remember, I threw in an R7 because these are the 2 I added into my kit. But these 2 you could use, or these 3, or these 4 you can use for cheek. So when it comes to cheek, you got a little room to play. So since I have a lot of freckling here, I definitely want to use something with red in it because freckling and hyperpigmentation is green. So I'm going to use some of the red. I do have some large pores there, so I could use the 07, the 05, OR5, orange red 5. Remember, there's no guessing in these kits because it's already there for you. You just say, okay, here's my cheek color. So you have options. All right, so I'm going to use the OR5 for my cheek, and I'm just kind of staying down right next to the round part of my cheek, right in here, because I have some acne scars there and I have some large pores. And you can see it just kind of warms up the cheek. And at the same time, it's diffusing that vein that I have there. Now, the red violet, I could use that because the violet is going to have a little bit of blue in it. So I could add extra shadow to my cheeks for a little more definition. I mean, there's room to play. You just got to get in there, play with it. And just, I mean, it's just add a little cheek color, a little bit of color. Look at that, guys. And it's providing me some coverage of my hyperpigmentation. Now, right up in here, it's just kind of not splotchy, but it's very muddy green. So I'm just going to use the red 3 to brighten this part. Look at that, watch that. It's help toning and balancing that hyperpigmentation right there on my cheekbone. So remember, all of these colors that I'm using are in one of the bundles, and there is a discount code. So this is the time. So if you're medium, I'm fair to medium. So, but since I have hyperpigmentation, dark circles and everything, I went to more of the Angel Edit 2. Just want to touch more right there. And if you're very fair, less pigmentation, I would go with the Angel Edit 1. And if you are medium to dark, I would go with the Angel Edit 3. Okay, there we're done with the cheek color. So the last thing we're going to do is filter. Okay, filtering is going to only those distractions and taking care of those distractions with opposite color. All right, do you see now just that by itself is taking care of a lot. So I just really want to take care of some darkness underneath my eyes, a little bit of hyperpigmentation, maybe a pimple or 2, lovely hormones, aren't they nice? Okay, so I'm going to use these lighter colors that's in my kit, and you have the red for something that's straight up muddy green, and then you have a plethora of oranges right here. So these are oranges that have just orange in it. Then there's some orange that have red, and there's some oranges that have yellow. Okay, so let's talk about when do we use what. I'm going to use the yellow oranges. I'm going to use this one right here first. Right here. Do you see how that, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Do you see how that has, it's very dark, it's shadowy, but anytime you have like darkness right here, that is because of blood flow. So just know it has a little bit of red in it. So red and blue make purple. So this is purple, all right, with a hint of blue in it. So I'm going to use a yellow orange. Remember, this is already in your kit. So anything that looks like that color, I'm just going to use this yellow orange. And you just kind of, it takes very little. Like I said, these tins, these colors would last you a year. Do you see how that just erased away? Here's that same color. And I just want to be very intentional and place it. And see, it just disappears. All right, so now do you see how this is not as dark as I thought it was? Compare. And see, my sinuses are really bad today, so they get really, really deep blue in there. Almost looks like a bruise. But all I did is touch that little section, and this is not as dark. So this is just straight up shadow, plus there's some freckles in there. Freckles are green, age spots are green, so what cancels green is red. And since it's in a shadow, I need an orange. So I have some choices here. I have a red, orange, 3, orange for the blue part, red for the pigmentation. So I'm going to try it out. And if it doesn't work, then I know just go to orange. So if you don't know, like, okay, I don't know what color that is on my skin, but I know it's dark. All you do, because you're getting a bundle, you don't have to guess. You just kind of like, okay, I know I've got to use some oranges with red in it, so I'm going to try this one. And if it doesn't work, you just go straight to orange, and there's 2 little oranges there. And all of them have similar of the colors. It's just going to go up in intensity. And see how I'm just touching anything with hyperpigmentation and shadow with that 03. Now look at the difference. All I did is touch this right here. Okay, right in here, notice I have, sorry, my nose is starting to run. Notice I have hyperpigmentation right there. Let's zoom in again. Right in here, and then I have wrinkles, and this is in a shadow part. So this is muddy green, but it's in a shadow part in a wrinkle, so I need orange for the shadow. So I'm going to just continue with that same color and just pop it right onto those dark points. So it's crazy how quick, see how I've got too much product there? I just move it around. If you get too much on your brush, you can tap it with your finger like this, or just move the brush around or flip it around to this fluffy side and blur it out. So it's crazy how quick you learn your spots, where they're at. Okay, now those are the darker ones. I'm going to continue anything that's that kind of dark that bothers me. Now with Martha, the picture I shared yesterday, we did none of this. Just, I mean, maybe 5 spots on her is what we touched, like this. Filtering is what we call this. We mainly took care of her eyes and warmed up her skin tone. Do you see how dark these are? And there's a nice little, see, that definitely has blue in it. But I'm still using this OR3 for any kind of, see how they all have the same kind of intensity and darkness? So you just, see how that's like a little patch of them right there? Just erase it. I have an acne scar right there. It's a really deep scar. So I'm just going to touch it with the same color because most likely it's got some pigment in it, which would be green, and then a shadow. And you see how that went away? Just like erasing things away. So see how I took care of all of those things? I'm going to use that same color right here. See how they're all the same color? This little spot here, this little spot. Everything that has the same intensity and color, I'm just going to use that color right there. Now there's a spot right here that makes my eye kind of still dark. See how, and guess what? Most of us ladies have this little spot right here. Okay, there's some blood vessels and things like that to go into this part of the socket, and it creates a lot of pigmentation there. And what I've learned, almost every one right here is very green. So what cancels green is red. So in this kit is a red one, and I'm just going to use straight up red one. And look how much you put on your brush, guys. You just barely touch it. And you just kind of touch in those, see those cuts, they're not as dark as the ones I just did. So I knew they were just muddy green. And then there's some right here that are they're lighter, which makes my eye socket seem very hollow. There. Oh my gosh, guys, look at the difference. It's as if I covered my whole face, and you can see that I did not. Okay, so now I'm going to take care right here. A lot of us have a lot of excess color around our nose. This is very similar to that color, so it's because of broken capillaries. So guys, when you have something like broken capillaries, they're going to typically have a lot of purple in it, so you need yellow for purple. So yellow and purple cancel each other. Well, since it's in a shadow part, I'm using orange. Shadows are blue. So I'm using this same yellow-orange. Remember, in these bundles, they're already organized for you, so you kind of know anything that's got that blood flow, broken capillary look to it is definitely, look, oh my gosh, love it. I'll take care, there's a little freckle right there, here. And notice I thought I would spend a lot of time covering all of my freckles and all of my spots, but I found if I just go to the points that are dark, I don't end up touching and they don't show up as much anymore. Yes, love it, love it, love it. All right, so now let's go to this something like this. So anything that's kind of scabby, you would think, okay, that's very red. All right, red needs green. Most of these kits do not have a lot of green in them or any green at all because this is very dark, so that is definitely just blue. I'm just going to use straight up orange, and so I have two to choose from. I have an 01 and an 03, and which one do you use? Well, since it's in my bundle, since it's very dark, I'm going to use the 03, but let's say if I put the 01 on there and it wasn't darkened, it didn't cover it, then I know to go to 01. So looky there. And I was very intentional to place it right on top of the spot. And so look, I don't think it covered it. So I'm gonna pull it off. Oh yeah, it did, I just okay, so I'm gonna use the 01 instead. So that's what I'm trying to say, that there's no guessing because it's all in your bundle. You don't have to sit there and think, oh, I don't know what color's what. And I'll send you all kinds of, all right, here's another one, but it's not as dark as that one. So I'm gonna do the 03. See, that's too much product. That's the learning curve. So I just wipe it away, or you can tap it. All right, guys, look, it looks like as if I have really good skin, and I don't. So not filtered, filtered. Love it. All right, here's another little spot right here, and it's just plain old, it's just dark. It just sticks out. So just say, all right, if it's darker than everything else, it's got some, and there it goes, it's gone. If it's got some color in it, then everything else, just say, all right, it's blue, I need an orange. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top of my nose, and I'm not going to go all the way down. There's a dark spot here, here, and here, but they look like the side of my nose, so I know they have some purple in it, so I'm going to use this yellow-orange again. And I'm just touching. The great thing is with, I have large pores on my nose, and I have one that always bugs me. So, large pores. I'm just touching these dark points. So I have a pore right here that just bugs me, all right? So pores are shadowed, all right? So I'm just gonna use this orange 3 that's in this kit, and I'm just gonna kind of put it right into the pore and kind of dust it off a little bit. It goes away. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to continue the same process over here. So I'm going to go back to my red, orange 3, or I'm going to do my eye. I'll do my eye first. That's what I did. And so you're thinking, okay, this would take a while. No. Learning it, because let me tell you something, guys. This is not more complex. It's different. I cannot compare it to any other process of how to do makeup because no one's ever done makeup this way before. So that doesn't make it harder. That makes it different. It's a different way of thinking. So the companies organize these bundles See how that's very shadowy? I'm touching up on this. I'm using this red orange 3. I did my yellow orange there, and I'm doing my hyperpigmentation with this red orange 3 that I did over here. But did you see how this was just very shadowy? It's my sinuses. This is part of my, I'm got a massive headache with the sinus headache, the pollen on this side, so it makes me very blue. So I'm going to go to some orange, and I'm just going to touch in where it's very dark. And it helps. I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something really important about the bundles. Oh, the way of thinking. It's just completely different. There's nothing to compare it to. But the company has organized these bundles so you don't have to, you're not going to get it wrong because you only have these colors to figure out how to use. And you see how they all have kind of similarities. So let's say you try to use this one and it didn't cover. That means go to an orange one. So if you went to this orange one and it didn't work, go to a darker orange, okay? So that's, you only have a little bit to play with, so you're going to figure it out. But very quickly, you will shock yourself how quick you will figure it out. Plus you got me, I'll help you. So right here, definitely very green. So I'm going to use this red one. Almost every lady I've color matched, no matter how deep their pigment of their skin. And I was asking a lady, I said, why is that? Why is it we have a lot of this little spot? There's your eyeball, come right down. Why is it very green right there on everybody? And it's because of, there's some blood vessels that go there through the socket. Now guys, look at that. I mean, really and truly, that's crazy. And on Martha, the lady I shared yesterday, I mean, really, once we took care of her eyes, because she said, you know, if I could only get rid of my eyes, I probably wouldn't, the darkness underneath my eyes, I would probably not wear makeup. I said, okay, so if you just could take care of that, you would rather go barefaced. She said, yeah. And I said, well, what if we could take care of that? She goes, it would be great. So I showed her, like, okay, look at this. We can just get rid of that. And you saw, if you haven't seen it, go back and look at her picture I shared yesterday. And you would see that once we took care of her eyes, there was really very pretty skin. Took care of those dark points. All right, so now I'm going to see these right here. These bug me. Hyperpigmentation, and see how they're darker than everything else. Anything darker than anything else has blue in it. Because it's a freckle, our hyperpigmentation is green, so I'm using an orange, red 3. And it's disappeared. This one right here. So I'm going to use this one quite a bit, and that's the reason why the company organized it to people typically in our skin tone, medium. I'm more medium fair, so but I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, age spots, so I went to the 2. So if you need help picking yours, let me know. So I'm just that red, anything that's dark like that. And it takes so little. Side of my face. That same color, red, orange 3. And you'd be amazed how quick you learn your spots. All right, do you see I missed that one? Okay, when you feel like it doesn't cover, a couple things to troubleshoot. See, there, it looked like I just wiped it away. A couple things to troubleshoot. I went outside the dark point of that age spot, so it put a halo around it. It makes it show it. It's like putting a spotlight on it. So once I tapped it away and got rid of it and just intentionally put it on the dark point, it just disappears. It's how light travels through your skin. Light is traveling through your skin and all of these layers of skin, oil, and pigmentation, and it bounces around. Once it goes through something, you know, think of a cloud. You know how you have dark points in a cloud, but light, the same light's traveling through that cloud? Well, some parts of the cloud are really, really bright, and some parts of the cloud are really dark gray. And that's because in that section where it's dark gray, it's very dense. The light's having to travel and bounce around a lot of things going on. So that age spot right there, the light's traveling through it, and it's having to travel through all these layers of pigmentation down in there, and that's what makes it dark. Okay, so if I just took care of the dark point, that dark point being filtered out, because you can see through this product, we're not covering it up, we're putting a stain over it like a stained glass. Once I fix that color is going through and it bounces back up, it matches the color that's next to it. So it looks like the same level of light. And get into science. But this is color science, guys. It's pretty cool. It really is cool. All right, so do you see this little freckle here bothers me? So it is an age spot, sun damage. I'm working on it. But did you see what I did there? It's darker than anything else, so I needed some orange because it's dark, so it has blue in it, and I needed some red because it's a hyperpigmentation, so I use the, since it's in a lighter part and I didn't want it dark like here, I use this lighter one, that's orange one. The other ones that are pretty dark, I use red, orange 3. Again, these are the colors that come in here, so troubleshooting is going to be very easy for you. All right, now I'm going to continue right here on my nose. So about 75% of my skin, actually, you can see. You see through this product, it's sheer. It's like a stain. Absolutely undetectable in the skin. You cannot tell that you are wearing it at all, and last as long as you want to wear it. It will never crease, ever. And the more brave you get playing around with it, you'll find that there's so many things you can do. I think I would like a little more cheek on this one, so I'm just gonna go take the fluffy end right there. Do you see that? I need a little color. All right, there. I think I'm done with filtering. I don't need to do anything else. I mean, we could go on out and do more, but I'm really happy with what I have. So now I'm going to do a little bit on my lips, and you can do as much or as little as you want. You really can. I want to sculpt out my nose just a little bit, just to bring down and shorten my nose, and I'm going to use this spot brush. No, this is not this. This is the bright brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of sculpt with my red sculpt that I put there. I could use the orange one too, but I have some freckles there, and I've already filtered it, so I just wanted a little bit. See, this is very shadowed, so I'm going to use just a little. Now, I could have not done this. Sometimes I don't even sculpt my nose. I just take care of the excess color, but I just wanted to, I was in the mood. Okay, now let's do the lips. Lips, you can do the same concept, same thing. All right, so I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, freckles. You see, it kind of makes my lips look like they're chapped, but you see I have dark freckles in my lips. I can filter those out, and I'm no joke, guys. This color will stay, doing your lips this way, it will stay on your lips majority of the day. Majority of the day. So I'm taking a little bit of the red sculpt, and I'm just going to go around the perimeter with red. Why red sculpt? This is the red sculpt. This is when I added in. I could do the orange one, but I like using the red one because of the freckles around my mouth. Right in here. So it just adds some more volume. So now you see these little dark points that which take away, and at the same time, what it's doing is showing off lines, you know, because it's a dark point. So whatever's a shadow and lines around my mouth, the wrinkles around my mouth are going to make my lines show it more. So darker than everything else, I'm going to use my red orange 3. Or okay, let me do this. I could use the orange 3. I can go back and forth. This is going to make it a little brighter, and this is just going to even it out. So let me experiment with you guys right now. I'm going to do I usually use the red orange 3. So now I'm going to use orange 1, meaning it's got less of the color in it. Oh, this is doing really good. It looks like I'm just erasing spots away. And at the same time, it's helping my lines not show up as much. I don't know about you, but that's the first thing that starts showing age that is hard to deal with. Drinking through straws for so many years. Now compare the difference. See the lines around see how this just kind of makes it look, okay, like this. So here I just experimented with you guys using a different color than I've used before, but I don't have to guess, it's in my kit. I don't have to figure it out. So I just know I have lines around my mouth, shadow. Anytime you have a wrinkle, shadow. And since I have freckles and age spots around my mouth, green. So red cancels green, orange cancels blue. Here I have a pore there that bugs me, so I'm going to go to the just orange. Okay, I'm impressed. Here I'm just using some red 1. Playing now, I'm playing. Because typically we have a lot of pigmentation, melasma around our mouth. So I just use some red 1 on the top lip. Now I'm gonna take care of some dots and filter out those spots there with an orange 7. Pretty dark. And it's going to make my lips look more even. I could just take care of the spots and not put any lips on, and you would see it filters out my lips and make them look, because when they're uneven in skin tone, it makes them look chapped. See, there's a freckle. I'm going to use that orange. The thing that impresses me the most is how long this lasts around the mouth. Impressive. Oh, look, I forgot this guy. All right, look. I just used some orange there. That's it, orange 3. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of lip color on. So I've filtered out and those spots are gone. I'm going to take, and I have room here. I could do different things. I use these cheek colors on them. It's just whatever flavor you're looking for that day. Remember I added this red 3 on there. I'm just going to use, because my lips are already kind of purple. So today I feel like I just want to bring forward more of my red. So natural red in my lips. So I'm just going to build on the red in my lips by using this red 1. You just kind of wash it, stain your lips. And you would be surprised just how long that lasts. See, it just looks more like my natural lip color, and up close, I don't see those spots. And you don't see like it just looks like my lip color. It doesn't look like I have lipstick on. All right, guys, I'm totally done. That's it. There's no setting spray, there's no powder or anything. Highly recommend if you're a sunscreen wearer, put your sunscreen on before this and let it soak in, and then just start working. Remember, it's 4 basic steps. You tone the skin. Second, you do some sculpt. Third, you can do some cheek color, and fourth, and filter. And sometimes you can just tone and filter and not do any sculpt or cheek color. If you just want to say, hey, I have a couple things in my eyes, a couple spots I want to cover, and then I want to go out the door, Demi allows you to do that because you're not going to see it on the skin. So you can just go where you need color instead of having to cover up a surface. And with opaque product, you can't do that. You're going to have that opaque blended out all over the skin to make it look more even. With Demi, you just go to where you want it, and that's it, and leave most of the skin untouched. So pretty simple. And guys, remember, the bundles that they have are on sale. This is the time. The filter edits and the angel edits significantly discounted. So the angel edits, the code is angel. For the filter edits, the code is filter. And this, you don't have to do any guessing of what colors that they come in. Now yours, the angel bundle, the angel bundle will come in a compact for you. This is just a compact that I got when I went to Cabo, and I just like it, and I'll put my stuff in there. But you can see that all the colors are already there for you. There's no second guessing. Here I'm putting a little bit of gloss. This doesn't come in the kit, but gloss is just a little bit of glow and illumination. See it? See the gloss? It's clear. It's clear. All right, so I'm out there, gobble. If y'all need any help picking your colors and which edit works for you, you can go to yes.outtherematchme.com. My husband's staring at me. Now he's distracted me. Yes, you can go to yes.outtherematchme.com, and I'll be glad to help you with which bundle works for you. And this code only goes to the end of May, so now's the time to try. I think the angel edit's $150 off. If you have any questions about being a hostess, and maybe we can get a party going before the end of May, and you could probably get you a bundle, let me know. I'll be glad to help you, which I don't think, the bundles don't work with, scratch that. But we can get all the colors you need with your hostess rewards. And if you have any questions about what I do in the artist program, be sure to ask me. I would love to send you some information. So I'm going to jump off and put on my mascara, and I'll take an after and I'll share it. And I need to get on the road to go color match a couple of ladies. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. Please share the video, and I truly appreciate it. Have a great day.